Hey folks, I'm back with a little more on the same topic. I thought you should hear this. This is Annalise. This is Annalise's stuffed animals telling each other about their dreams. This is the pre-sleep ritual. One of them is saying it's time for nap time. Anyway, little window into that world. I'll turn the volume down so that I can be heard. But my thought today is, no surprise, kind of in this same vein of the last couple of days where I've felt like I'm wrestling with this pattern of constant striving, right? And I've talked a little bit about what that feels like and the fact that I know it's a pattern because as soon as I let it go, this huge geyser of emotion feels like it's right there, and it like kind of just fills my whole being with yesterday and the day before was kind of a sadness. It's moving. It's not sad. It's not debilitatingly sad every day, and it wasn't even debilitating when I was really feeling it. In fact, the difference between that kind of sadness and my usual sense of what sadness feels like is that this feels like a grounding sadness. It feels like being in touch with what's real. It's not necessarily like I'm not jumping for joy, but I'm at the same time almost relieved to simply be experiencing what I have known is there in my core. So there's a way in which letting that sadness be has really been powerfully moving and in a really deep way satisfying. It's been really satisfying to allow a true emotion to be there and to see it and to simply let it, not compensate by letting my mind do a bunch of loops and kind of obscure it. So that's this pattern that I'm still sitting with, I'm still observing, I'm still watching it sort of try to come in and out. One of the ways in which I've kind of specifically noticed it over the last couple of days is in my work at the piano. And no surprise, piano practice is something that this mental pattern loves. Because why? Because piano practice is literally the process of sitting with something and step by step getting better at it. It's like constant problem solving, constant overcoming. It's a constant, you're working with something and you're developing it. You're watching yourself work out little nooks and crannies of the piece. I'm playing Rhapsody in Blue right now, and I would so what I noticed in the last couple of days is that when I'm allowing that pattern to work at the piano, it's like it's trying to sneak in the back door. Like I'm shining the light into my psyche right now and really opening a space where that pattern is not allowed to run the show. And so when I do something like sit down at the piano, it goes, ha, here I am. Now I have a way in because now I can do my job. And all of which is on one level fine. But if that's unconscious, then it becomes something where it's kind of like the pattern gets to come in the back door and then it kind of tries to stay around. I noticed what really came through powerfully this morning is I know that piano is not the number one thing in my life. The thing that's the number one thing in my life is spiritual work, meditation, the getting in touch with presence, with the here and now and the depths of who and what I am. That's number one. And the way I can tell is because no amount of piano practice ever orients my life. When I sit down at the piano and I practice, doesn't matter how many hours I go, I could practice for 6 hours. When I stand up from the piano, I'm going to want to practice more piano. I'm just going to be out of time to spend at the piano. When I get up from meditation, I have a completely new perspective on life. It's like my whole sense of what I'm doing and why I'm here and all of the activities and all the domains within my life have increased orientation. There's an increased discrimination among them. What's important? What's less important? It's a total full full life, perspective building, expanding, orienting practice. And if I'm doing the spiritual work, then piano is great. Then piano takes its proper place within that. But when piano kind of tries to take the top spot, it's kind of like a way that this mental pattern tries to take the top spot. It tries to like jump. It tries to say, well, this is number one. That means I get to be number one because I really know how to do this. You know, you start to pick domains like meditation where this pattern just doesn't have anything to do, and it's a big threat to this pattern. Your mind then can't win because it's not playing. You're not playing a game that it can win. The game is not about problem solving. The game is not about continuously reaching beyond where you are. The game is about be here now. Genuinely, be truly, completely present in our entire being, in our entire psyche. So that's just been a kind of like something that's shown up for me in the last day or so about specifically piano. You know, I started to notice I was sitting in meditation. You know, I'm practicing Rhapsody in Blue right now. So I'm sitting in meditation, running Rhapsody in Blue in my head. And I was like, I'm using Rhapsody in Blue like some people would use Sudoku or the New York Times crossword puzzle. It's just an opportunity for problem solving. And it's fine, but it's only fine if I know that that's what it is, and I'm choosing to let my mind do that work for a while, and then I'm directing my attention away. Another feature kind of that I've noticed of this is kind of like I was saying before. I can practice piano for 6 hours, stand up, and all I want to do is sit back down and practice piano. It's an addictive relationship. My relationship to the practice is addictive in the sense that doing it makes me want to do more of it. And that's basically the pattern gaining power in my psyche, gaining momentum and convincing me I'm really the right thing to be doing. Whereas meditation releases that. Meditation just kind of, it creates space, it creates stillness, it creates presence. And from that space, I can orient and clearly choose what's important. Whereas from the momentum of a pattern that's dying to exert itself and to do more and more and more, I can't really exert choice. I have free will, but like, what does that mean? I'm on a freight train going 150 miles an hour. Like, it's not going to stop. I have to like actually sit back and let that thing roll to a halt. Give it something that it's not good at doing. You know, go into a domain where it literally can't intersect with the job, and then it can start to let go. Then I can start to exert psychic authority over what my mind is doing. So that's where I am today. You know, it's still very much with this same pattern, and just observing how it's working and playing out in my life. And I've also one other interesting thing is that in the last couple of days, at least 5 people in my life have said, "Oh my God," totally independently and without watching my video posts, I'm wrestling with this pattern of like constantly trying to prove my worth. I'm wrestling with this pattern of constantly reaching beyond where I am. So that tells me that, you know, this is obviously, and I knew this, but this is not just my issue. This is a cultural issue. This is a human issue. This is something it's universal. And I think, you know, our backgrounds are totally different. Like, where we got this, who knows? You know, we all have different mothers and different fathers and different siblings and different families and different schools we went to and blah, 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 blah. But there's a very universal thing about this particular pattern. And then I think there's also something very universal about starting to recognize it and what it feels like to let it go. So thank you all so much for watching. To have people, you know, watching these videos, liking these videos, commenting on these videos, it really, really does feel fantastic to me that what I'm saying is getting out and having meaning to other people, you know, not just in my own mind. So I love you all. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.